What's up, math scholars? Thanks for joining us for the second half of the study guide. Hopefully you're feeling good about this stuff and ready for the quiz tomorrow. Number 6 is where we left off on our last video. So you're going to take that negative sign and distribute it to all the terms in the second group. Nobody in the first group will change, so the first group will still be 5x cubed minus 2x plus 7. But then at that point, it's just a big adding problem, so you can kind of use your colors and add together your like terms. So how about I'll use my green for my x cubed, so it'd be 1x cubed. I'll use my pink for my x's, negative 1x, and I'll use my black for my numbers, negative 1. So does that answer match what you had? Oh, did I mess up?
1x.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh. Yep, I knew when I turned around and Aaron had his hand up and had a mistake. Thank you. I think it's just too early for me. Let's try this. Aaron's gonna get himself a ticket. Way to pay attention this early. Positive 15. How's that? Okay. We're doing better. Sorry, people on the video. All right, we're at number 7. We all grabbed our calculators out of our book bag. So you're going to go ahead and look at the equation. I like to look at it and think about it first. So let's look at it and think about it. See that degree of 4? What shape is that going to make? A snake or a parabola?
Parabola.
Good. And then what about the negative out front? Will the parabola open to the sky or to the ground? So this will be a parabola opening to the ground. But let's get it put in. So you're going to hit your y equals button to go ahead and type the equation in. Make sure all your people sitting at your group know where that y equals button is. This is a good time to just kind of talk to one another and say, hey, do you need help with that button? Hey, do you need help with that button?
He doesn't have it.
No, but he should borrow one.
You need help with it.
All right, we all typed it in. We're going to go ahead and click graph. You can kind of see it almost looks like a little bunny. There's like little ears, like a little, cat. Kind of goes up. And it has a turning point. It's called a turning point. Another turning point, and it comes down. How do we get into table? Second graph. And so at negative 3, we're at negative 217. At negative 2, we're at negative 37. Negative 1 is negative 1. 0 is negative 1. 1 is negative 1. 2 is negative 37, and 3 is negative 217. All right, let's talk end behavior. As we go to the right, this is what this says, as x approaches infinity. So as we go to the right, what's happening to the y values? As I go to the right, what's happening to the y values? Down to the ground, so negative infinity. All right, as x approaches negative infinity, or as we go to the left, what's happening to the y values? Going down, negative infinity. Okay. Harder than others. All right, we arrived at number 8, and I already heard a student go, these are hard. Some are harder than others, but I have little songs if you'd like to sing them. That way, and everybody's like, oh, I'm not singing a song, but I want the song stuck in your mind, so Friday, when you're doing these all by yourself, and I'm not singing the song, your own brain will be singing the song. All right, so 3 and 12 are normal everyday numbers. We want to reduce them like normal fractions. What is a number you can divide out of both 3 and 12?
3.
Okay, so 3 divided by 3 equals 1. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. That part was easy. Oh, good news, I have a song.
I think I know it.
Bigger minus smaller. Put the answer.
Where the bigger live.
Good. 11 minus 7 is 4. So my answer is x to the 4th. But that x to the 4th has to go in the denominator, which is where the bigger exponent had originally lived.
So could you just put x to the 4x to the 4th?
4, no, that would be dead wrong, because the 4 and the x to the 4th would all be in the numerator, and that's not correct.
Wait, what?
You said, could I just put 4x to the 4th? That's what I heard verbally. That is very
x
different.
over 4x to the 4th.
That's wrong as well. X over 4x to the 4th. Technically, you have an x to the 1st right there.
Oh.
That would be wrong. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving to number 9. I don't think this one's too hard. Just a real quick reminder, all these guys have little dots between them. It's not like they're attached to one another in any way. They're all just multiplied together. So you want to multiply the 5 and 2 because those are normal numbers. You want to take your y's and add them up. What's 2 plus 8? And I normally put my x first and my y second because it's alphabetical order, but you don't have to. So x, or 10, x to the 5th, y to the 10. All of these problems are going to be on the Polaris, and they're going to be multiple choice, kind of like the mini skills check thing was. Number 10, sorry. Oh, I have a song for this one. How's it go? Flip and make it positive. First, let's start with the x's. Don't you notice we have the same thing on the top and the bottom, x to the 5th and x to the 5th? Those can just go away. Now we're going to do our little flip and make it positive game. Does this one on the top need to flip? Yes, because it has a negative exponent. When I flip it, the exponent becomes positive. What about this y to the negative 6? Does it need to flip? Yes. So it can flip to the top and become positive. At this point, what song should we sing to ourselves?
Bigger minus smaller, but the smaller, bigger, with what?
Very, very close. A couple slight errors in the song. Bigger minus smaller. Put the answer where the bigger lived. So 8 minus 6 equals 2. Y to the 2nd would go where the bigger exponent lives in the bottom. That was so easy. You're acting like these were hard.
Is that hard?
I think it might be the negatives. All right, number 11. A couple ways of doing this. You could either flip it originally and make that exponent positive right off the bat, or you can distribute the negative and worry about flipping later. So let's vote. Who wants to flip first? Who wants to distribute and then flip later? Definitely more people voted that way. So we're going to distribute that negative 3 to the P, distribute the negative 3 to the R. That gives us that. So it has to distribute to both. And at this point, we get to flip and make it positive. You're going to flip the P to the bottom, make him positive. Flip the R to the top, make that exponent positive. And you're done. All right, number 12. This is probably the hardest one we've come to for sure. There's a lot going on. Let's just start easy with the 8 and the 18. They're just normal everyday fractions. Let's just reduce them. What does 8 and 18 both have in common? I can divide out. A 2, yes. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. 18 divided by 2 equals 9. So 4/9 is the fraction part of it. All right, so we have that little song, flip and make it positive, but don't get too hog wild. You only need to flip things that have negative exponents. So I'll point and you tell me whether I need to flip. Do I need to flip the e to the negative 4th? Yes. So let's flip it, make it a positive 4 as the exponent. Do I need to flip the f to the negative 2? Yes. So put him in the bottom, make his exponent positive. Now, really think hard about this e. It's technically e to the 1st right now. So does it need to flip? No. It can stay put. There's an e to the 1st down in the denominator as well. And then what about this f to the negative 5? We can flip and make it positive. Okay? At this point, we just had a little bit of cleanup to do. It's still going to be 4/9. Let's do our e's. If I have e to the 4th and e to the 1st, I can add them together and become e to the 5th. Now, what about our f's? What should we do with our f's? Do you have a song that can help me out?
Make it positive.
No, we already did that. They're already positive.
Get minus where the bigger lives.
Bigger minus smaller. Put the answer where the bigger lived. 5 minus 2 equals 3. Where will that answer go? Up top, where the 5 lives in the numerator. That song is so gosh darn helpful. I know you hate it, but it's helpful. All right, 13. I'm just going to type this in exactly as I see it. 3.22 times 10 to the 3rd times 4.77 times 10 to the negative 6. I did not even use parentheses. They're not all that important. This is what I saw on my calculator screen. 0.0153. 594. Okay, just get every digit. This is not scientific notation. You're on your own to know how to get the scientific notation. So scientific notation would put the decimal point between the 1 and 5. I go with 1.54 most likely, times 10 to the negative 2, because you moved your decimal point 2 over to the right. I think that's a multiple choice problem as well. Yeah, you can round it. And I know you're probably thinking, should I round it? It's multiple choice, so just pick the correct answer. That's a Polaris question. 14. Everybody always messes up when there's zeros involved. What is any number to the 0 power?
1.
1. Good. Not 0. It's 1. I'll probably just go ahead and distribute the -5 to start. That's kind of where my mind is going with things. 0 times -5 is still going to be 0. 2 times -5 is going to be a -10. So Logan's right. 4 to the 0th is just 1. So we've got 1 times w to the -10. We're not allowed to have any negatives in our exponents as our answers. So what we got to do? Flip and make it positive. Where's that answer? We only have one more. We're doing so good today. All right. All these parentheses actually don't need to be there. So I think when I was going around and helping people yesterday, the parentheses were actually throwing people off. I think the parentheses made people think they should multiply. There's no multiplying here. You're just going to be adding your exponents. So what is 4 plus -3? Positive 1. And what is 2 plus -5? -3. And that's not a good way to leave my answer, because I have a negative exponent there. So we're going to leave the y alone. He's got a positive. He's good. We need to flip that z. Flip and make it positive. Hey everybody at home. Thanks for joining us for part 2 of our video. We finished it in 11 minutes. Kind of proud of ourselves. There are more additional practice problems, honestly, on the very next slide that you can look at on Polaris. We'll be doing them in class. We won't be videotaping ourselves. But yeah, you're all invited to a study party after school today or before school tomorrow.